So my name is Megan Halse and I'm a lecturer of chemistry at the University of York. One of my earliest memories of thinking about a science-related career was when I was around 10 and I wanted to be an astronaut. And I'm not really sure why I wanted to be an astronaut, but that's my earliest memory of being fascinated by sort of a scientific career. But more sort of serious consideration of studying science came later. Like a lot of people, I had some really excellent teachers who got me excited into math and physics, and that was probably around when I was about 14. And the other thing that really benefited me when I was young is that I'm one of 5 kids and I'm number 4, and my oldest brother, who is now an engineer, was just starting university. He would come home and just teach me random things. I remember him teaching me trigonometry because I was bored in math class, and so I had that element of being sort of challenged on those kind of things at home as well as at school. Obviously, when you're in academia, the most obvious option is staying in academia. But I had also worked with a spin-out company, so a small company that was commercializing research for my PhD lab. So I was aware of that kind of level of industry. For me in physics, going beyond that to other type of industrial work, it was never entirely clear what that would look like. As opposed for a trained chemist, you might think, okay, pharma is quite obvious a potential career, whereas for physics it's not necessarily as clear, or it wasn't to me. I had a notion that people always say that, you know, if you have a physics degree and if you're bright and good at maths, then you couldn't get jobs in like the finance sector and things where they might pay you a lot of money. But I have to say I never really seriously considered any of those types of options. And there was a lot of people telling you that you had transferable skills without ever telling you what that would get you. And so I think there is a problem that it's not entirely clear coming out of a PhD of something like physics.
Are there like specific personality traits that you've noticed through time?
You get all sorts, just like any walk of life. I mean, when you watch, say, TV programs that depict scientists like The Big Bang Theory, I mean, those stereotypes do exist, and they're, of course, in the TV show, they're taken to extreme. And so I've definitely met people where you'd be like, oh yeah, they're a Sheldon, you know, kind of scenarios. But, you know, there's just many different ways to approaching science, so there's many different personalities that it can suit. There are people who really just focused on the details and just persevere with every little thing and try and get everything right. There are other people who are sort of big picture and outgoing and are really good at selling the science and seeing the vision. And then you've got people who'd rather not talk to anyone if they can avoid it, and who would just like to just be in their office doing their science quietly alone. So, you know, it takes all types. There's no one personality that works or doesn't work in science.
3 words to describe your career so far.
The first word I would use would be surprising. I think at no point in my career could I have accurately predicted where I would be or what I would be doing just a few years later, which can be good and can be bad, but definitely I would say on balance is quite good. I would also say international. So one of the things that I did not know when I was younger about science is how international it is, and how not only have I gotten to live in lots of different countries, but even for people who don't do that, our research labs are made up of people from all over the world. You get exposure to all these different cultures. You travel to do research visits, to do conferences in different places in the world, and so you get this kind of international perspective that has been really important to me, and that I've really enjoyed. A third word would be challenging. So there's really nothing easy about the process of going through academia, but the kind of people who go into academia are the kind of people who want to be constantly challenged. They don't want to go to work for a few hours a day and then come home and forget about it. And that maybe are more easily bored, and so it's constantly changing, and every time you think you've got a handle on one aspect of your job and things are going well, then suddenly someone says, oh, now you need to do this new and it's a scary thing. So it's something that I enjoy, but it has also been, you know, sometimes it's really difficult.